Ever wondered about the villain who shares a name with Batman's father? Get ready to dive into the evil life of Simon Hurt. We're on a hunt deep in the backstory of Simon Hurt, the villain with a name that's more than just a coincidence. In this episode, we'll uncover the secrets behind his immortality, his sinister plots, and his encounters with the Caped Crusader. Understanding Simon Hurt's origin is not only crucial for Batman fans, but also throws a light on one of the most crucial chapters in the Batman universe. Get ready as we dig into Simon Hurt's past, his powers, his impact on Batman's life, and more in this episode of Marvelous Origins. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. That is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Simon Hurt, in a nutshell. Dr. Simon Hurt is no ordinary character in the Batman universe. Yes, his real name is Thomas Wayne, but he's not Bruce Wayne's father brought back to life. He's actually an ancestor of the Wayne family, and he's got a bone to pick with the Caped Crusader. Here's what you need to know. Dr. Thomas Wayne, way back in the day, was into devil worship. He tried to summon a bat god. However, things didn't quite go as planned. Instead of bat god, he got a visit from an interdimensional being that affected him with a strange energy, and suddenly, Thomas Wayne became extremely long-lived. He became the real-life Methuselah, the long-lived biblical figure. Fast forward to the 18th century, Thomas Wayne crosses paths with Vandal Savage. Together, they go on a wild chase for the secrets of eternal life. But of course, Batman swoops in and ruins their immortality wish. Thomas Wayne, now with more years under his belt, decides to move across the Atlantic. He's on the hunt for others' ways to stay immortal. But Wayne doesn't stick around for long. He eventually makes his way back to Gotham. This time, his descendants, also called Dr. Thomas Wayne, they really love that name, tries to help him out. But the old man Wayne doesn't like the help at all. Instead, he starts spreading some really nasty rumors about his descendant, like fake drug and assault accusations of all things. And that's when the transformation happens. Thomas Wayne, now going by Simon Hurt, decides to put his medical skills to use as a military doctor. He also becomes the leader of a secret cult called the Black Glove, which has its hands in some really nasty stuff. Simon Hurt gathers his cult buddies at the Wayne Cemetery right after Dr. Wayne and Martha Wayne pass away. He tries to ruin the Wayne family's reputation. His ultimate goal? To assume Dr. Wayne's identity and inherit the Wayne family's wealth. But hey, it's Gotham, and any crime has only one way, the Dark Knight way. In this case, a time-traveling Bruce Wayne intervenes, disrupting Simon Hurt's evil plan. So, that was Simon Hurt's origin and his life in a nutshell. But don't worry, we'll be discussing everything in great detail. Make sure you stick around. From bad to worse, the evolution of Simon Hurt. Back in the 1960s, Dr. Hurt popped in a Batman comic, and then, poof, he disappeared. But in 2006, the character was brought back into the light by the comic writer Grant Morrison. Morrison, the comic nerd, took his dubious character and turned him from a one-time science experiment guy into something way more evil. He described Hurt as Batman's own personal devil, and that's one frightening makeover. But there's more to this evolution. Morrison created a completely new backstory for Hurt, making him an ancestor of the Wayne family from colonial times who experimented with what he believed was black magic. This guy, thanks to his so-called magic, managed to stick around for centuries. With all that time, he focused on trying to defeat Batman and his entire family. The evolution of Dr. Hurt went from forgotten comic character to Batman's very own diabolical ancestor with a thirst for vengeance. I believe we know enough about Dr. Hurt to start exploring his life and dark storylines. Let's go ahead and take a good look at everything there is about Simon Hurt and his life. When Thomas summoned Darkseid, it's 1765, and Thomas Wayne, with a bunch of others from colonial America, decides to tap into some dark magic. They gather around for what's known as the Black Mass, a ritual to summon a being called Barbados. It's a creation of the Wild Forger designed to eat up universes that are dying. But why would Thomas Wayne and his pals do something so sinister? Simple. They wanted to live an eternal life, a life with no end. So they go through all the incantations incantations and summoning rituals, and surprisingly, it appears they have summoned Barbados. But when the situation becomes serious, the others chicken out and leave, abandoning Thomas Wayne along underground with his demon. Now, Thomas, in all his misguided bravery, thinks he's got Barbados on his side. But in reality, what appears is the hyper-adapter Darkseid's own weapon of mass adaptation. And guess what? It targets Hurt, planning to use him against his own descendant later on. Now, here's the interesting part. Some of us out there think maybe the hyper-adapter is actually Barbados in disguise. But in my humble opinion, if we're trying to fit all the puzzle pieces together, the hyper-adaptive might just be a piece of the Barbados avatar, if you will, not the real guy himself. There's some mysterious deception happening, and the reality could be even more unusual than we expect. Thomas experiments on Batman. Let's rewind the clock to the early days of Batman's career. Back then, our Cape Crusader agreed to undergo some scientific tests, all in the name of helping the government create backup Batman, just in case something tragic went down with the original. I don't know about you, fellas, but I would love to see a legion of Batman flying quietly in the night Gotham skies. And Simon, the one behind these tests. He's in charge of the entire project, and trust me, he's got some wicked plans to take down Batman. Hurt chooses to experiment on Batman using hallucinogens. Can you imagine Batman, someone with a monk-like calmness, seeing things that made him lose his mind, like death of Robin? While Batman caught up in a Hurt's twisted experiments, this doctor sneakily plants a little piece of tech in the Dark Knight's head. He whispers the line Zur-En-Arrh into Batman's mind like a time bomb waiting to go off. You're wondering about the big plan. Well, Hurt's plotting to cause Batman trouble later on. He has a trigger ready and is waiting for the perfect moment to use that secret phrase and take down Batman. But Hurt isn't content with just messing with Batman's head. He gathers all the strange stuff he's learned about Batman's mind and uses it to make 3 potential replacements for our hero. A game of death. Have you heard about the Black Glove? A secret group with a lot of influence and power focused on destroying Batman. Hurt, the clever strategist, has John Mayo on his team. He has assigned Mayo to gather a league of ex-superheroes who call themselves Club of Heroes. However, they struggle to stay united. Now, Hurt and Mayhew decide to bring these heroes back together, making them think it's just an old reunion. But it's actually a cruel game arranged by the Black Glove. It's a battle between good and evil, with life and death at stake. Sure, there are some casualties along the way, but Batsy and most of the Club of Heroes make it through the night alive. However, Hurt's not too pleased with how things went down. He's upset with Mayhew for failing and decides to deal with it himself by killing Mayhew as punishment. But the important part is that Hurt introduces Batman to the whole concept of the Black Glove, and Batman becomes very focused on finding out who this mysterious group is. This leads to more complex mysteries involving Simon Hurt and Batman. Thomas takes over Wayne. This is where things get seriously messed up. So Batman's obsession with the Black Glove became extremely intense, but Hurt decides it's time to pull out all the stops. Remember, that trigger he planted in Batman's head years ago? Well, he activates it and boom, Batman's completely knocked out. The Black Glove, led by Hurt himself, takes over Batman's cave as well as Bruce's ancestral home, Wayne Manor. What about Batman? He's drugged and dumped onto the mean streets with no memory of himself. Hurt even tells Alfred, the faithful Wayne family butler, that he's Bruce's real dad, Thomas Wayne. Alfred, despite knowing it's nonsense, is unable to stop the chaos. Looks like Hurt's not done with Batman just yet. While Bruce is acting as Zur-En-Arrh, Batman, an emergency alter ego, Hurt seizes control of Arkham Asylum and brings Joker to their party. Soon, Batman can't resist and goes to Arkham, only to discover the Joker has captured Jezebel Jet, his girlfriend. It's all fun for the Joker until Batman falls into another trap by Hurt, a drug activated by rose petals around Jezebel. Hurt buries Bruce in a grave thinking he's won, but the always unpredictable Joker crashes the Black Glove's party. He supports Batman and warns the group to never underestimate the Dark Knight. He also hints at Batsy's return. Bruce, determined to survive, escapes Bruce from his grave and furiously searches for Hurt. However, Hurt tries to make a getaway in a helicopter, but Bruce takes that chopper down, crashing it into the Gotham River. Now, Hurt's body is nowhere to be found, but his parting words haunt Batman. He warns Bruce that if he puts on his costume again, it'll be his final time. This curse appears to become true when Batman is later captured by Darkseid, leading to even darker events. The new heroes and the old villains. Now with Bruce out of the picture, it's up to Bruce's own son, Damian Wayne, and Dick Grayson to take on the mantle of Batman and Robin. But the new duo find themselves knee-deep in trouble. There's a psychopath killer on the loose, and this guy likes going after Black Glove members we've been talking about. To make matters even more interesting, they get some assistance from a British detective named Oberon Sexton. It doesn't take long for Simon Hurt to make his return, this time hiding behind the identity of a Mexican drug lord, El Penitente. He sends his henchmen after the heroes and Sexton, all to find an old artifact hidden deep beneath Wayne Manor. As that's not enough, Hurt's henchmen manage to dig out a coffin-like box from the underground caves behind the Wayne Cemetery. And trust me, Hurt's got some big plans to bring Batman crashing down. Dick Grayson pieces together a shocking revelation. Oberon Sexton, he's none other than the Joker himself, wearing a clever disguise. The Joker is further upset with Hurt and the Black Glove for interfering with his Batman. Soon, Dick Damian and the Joker, yes, even the Joker, confront Dr. Hurt and the Black Glove. In a surprising turn, Hurt comes toward in Gotham City, claiming to be the resurrected Thomas Wayne, just as the city descends into chaos caused by a drug the Black Glove secretly spread. Bruce Wayne, back to the present. While Simon Hurt's causing chaos in a present-time Gotham, Bruce is on a time-traveling journey trying to find his way back to his own era. This story is a little trippy. Bruce keeps crossing paths with Hurt at different points in time. First up, it's somewhere in the 1800s. Hurt and his buddy, Vandal Savage, are on a quest to crack open that mysterious coffin-like box that's tied to Bruce's time-traveling journey. They believe it holds the key to Barbados, Hurt's demonic god. But Hurt's attempt to open that box fails, and he flees to England. Now, here in the land of the English, rumors suggest he might have become Jack the Ripper, an unknown serial killer. But Bruce's adventures through time are far from over. He encounters Hurt once more, this time shortly after his parents' tragic murder. But Hurt and the Black Glove plan to use Bruce as a sacrifice in their bizarre ritual to awaken Barbados. They all go out, even posing as Bruce's own parents, while recording the whole event. This craziness is eventually leaked to the press during the Batman Rest in Peace saga, but the plan blows up in their faces, and instead of summoning Barbados, it sends Bruce on another time trip. And you know what that means, right? It's his ticket back home to the present day, where Gotham City and the Bat family are in desperate need of their one and only Dark Knight. Hurt versus Wayne one last time. With Gotham City drowning in madness thanks to a viral drug, everyone else in the world thinks Thomas Wayne has risen from the grave. But in reality, it's Hurt and the Black Glove who's taking control, leaving Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne in their clutches. Hurt captures the duo and tries again to execute his big plan, summoning Barbados and unlocking the mysterious coffin-like box found beneath the Wayne graveyard. But the box opens by itself. Inside it is just a note that says, "Gotcha, finally." Dick and Damon escape and attack Dr. Hurt, who is confused and panicking. Then, in a highly anticipated moment, Bruce Wayne arrives, ready to finish this long-awaited confrontation. Hurt, desperate to escape, sends his army of goons after the heroes while he speeds to the Bat Cave. But Bruce quickly catches up, and during their underground confrontation, he reveals that he knows who Hurt is and how he was affected by the hyper-adapter. He also knows that Thomas Wayne, Bruce's real father, attempted to cure him, but it went wrong. Yet, in his madness, Hurt remains stubborn and still believes himself to be Bruce's dad. He presents Batman with a tough choice: rescue Alfred, who is trapped underwater, or go after him. Believing he has escaped, Hurt exits the cave and discovers a line of dominoes. They guide him to the Wayne Cemetery, where the Joker has been waiting. There's a gun kept between them, as if Joker had given Hurt a chance for a direct confrontation. In a funny twist, Hurt slips on a banana peel placed by the Joker and falls, banging his head on the ground. Disappointed that Hurt didn't meet his expectations, the Joker poisons him with his toxin and buries him alive, declaring Joker trumps Deuce. It's a strange but fitting conclusion to a story full of twists. What makes Simon Hurt so powerful? Let's look in the powers and talents of Simon Hurt, the heritage Batman villain. First up, we've got immortality. Thanks to the demonic influence from the hyper-adapter, Simon Hurt is basically age-proof. He's been around for centuries and hasn't aged a day. But that's not all. Hurt's got a thing for the dramatic, and his acting skills are top-notch. He can put on quite the show when the situation calls for it. Further, he is a master in psychiatry and hypnosis. Dr. Hurt is a bona fide expert in the field. After all, with centuries of experience under his belt, his wisdom and smarts are off the charts. He can dive into your mind, mess with it, and hypnotize you without breaking a sweat. He's got a PhD in psychological manipulation. I don't even know if that exists. Hurt's got some serious leadership skills in his arsenal too. He's not just a lone wolf. He knows how to gather a group of baddies and organize some seriously evil plans. And last but not least, there's his knack for the occult. He's into some dark and demonic arts that prove to be of a great aid to him. Marvelous verdict. In this episode, we saw the mysteries surrounding Simon Hurt's immortality, his dark arts, and his role in the Batman universe. Dr. Hurt's origin story isn't simply about a single character. It's a glimpse into the complex Dark Knight universe. Even after all this time, in the world of heroes and villains, mysteries never run out. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Simon Hurt's character or any other topics you'd like us to cover. As we finish discussing Simon Hurt's life, keep in mind that in the comic books, every character has a hidden tale, but it can't be hidden for too long, because we try our best to bring you everything there is in the world of superheroes. Until the next time, keep diving into superhero world with us on Marvelous Videos, your go-to channel. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us. If you haven't already, have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.